Lawn Gnome, and welcome to part 3 of this year's A Lawn Gnome's Guide 2. And of course, if you're new to my channel, welcome, it is a pleasure to have you. And if you're just stopping by, there will be links to the first 2 parts of this annual segment on my channel in the end of this video. So, this year's topic is about finding a balance. It's not necessarily just YouTube related, it also involves all of your life decisions and your daily routines. So today is going to be something that might be a little bit heavy-hitting and a little bit emotional, but I'm just saying that if you disagree with some of the things that I say in this video, don't worry about it. You're allowed to have your opinions on certain things, and you're welcome to discuss them with me. But I'm going to be mentioning a whole bunch of things that are based on my own personal experience and what I learned from them. And part 3 is going to be called the social totem pole. When it comes to figuring out what's important to us, it's the people around us that really make or break it. But one of the few things that a lot of us don't seem to get right is who really are the more important people in our lives. And when it comes to living, when it comes to being happy, and when it comes to discovering the person that you are, it's the people that you learn from, the people that you expose yourself to. They're the ones that are also going to help define you and shape you. Even though you really should be in the driver's seat, it's not something that is going to be hard to avoid. The first thing I want to say is an overall thought, and that is, be realistic. Know the people that are around you. Know the type of person that you are. Because if you are lost in that perspective, especially when it comes to yourself, there really is no way that you're going to be able to survive, and there's no way that you are ever going to find true happiness. And that's where we're going to start with the first person on the totem pole. And what I mean is the highest rung on the totem pole. You. I've said this to a lot of people, and it's something that I hold very true to myself, especially when it comes to finding a great balance. You have to love yourself before you love another. Now, granted, there are certain people that you do love when you are officially entering this world and becoming a part of the human race, but we will get to them. The most important thing is that at the end of the day, the person that you need to take care of the most is yourself. You always have to take each day with stride and take a look at yourself in the mirror in the morning and before you go to sleep and say to yourself, have I done good for me? Am I eating well? Am I doing my job? Am I enjoying my passions? Am I having a good time with the people around me? Am I doing what is right for me? And that's one of the few things that took me a long time to actually learn. And it was because of the fact that I always considered myself a really nice person. I considered myself a very helpful person, someone who really wanted to take the time to spend time with everybody and help everyone. But when I realized that things were not going my way at a certain point in time, and I can go into that at another point in time with you on a one-on-one basis if you'd like to, but when I found out that things were not looking so great for me, I was still going out of my way to help others. And people who truly cared about me said to me, you gotta stop that. You gotta stop worrying about everybody else, and you gotta start worrying about yourself. Because if you're not taking care of yourself, why are you taking care of everybody else? You're crashing and burning, and the other thing is, people weren't really showing gratitude for what I was doing. I was asking people to tell me what their problems were. I was offering them advice, and at the end of the day, they weren't taking that advice, and they just kept digging holes for themselves until the point in time where no one was going to be able to throw them that rope or extend that hand. So I decided to take matters into my own hands and put myself in front of everybody else. And yes, people are going to say that you're selfish. People are going to look at you and think that you're an asshole because instead of hanging out with people, you realize that you have a test to study for, or you want to make a YouTube video, or you just need some me time. If people don't understand that you're trying to do things that are good for yourself and trying to just help you keep your sanity, then maybe they're not really good friends. The next rung on the totem pole is sort of an interesting thing, and it's a slippery slope. It could be your significant other, but it also could be your family. And the way that you rank those two is truly based on how far into your relationship you have gotten. If you're dating someone for only a month, and you truly care about that person. First of all, there's a very good chance that you are still in your puppy love stage and you really have no idea if you do in fact love that said person. And there's a very good chance that you are putting that person in front of your siblings, your parents, your grandparents, people who nurtured you, who truly give a rat's ass about you, and are willing to take the shirts off their backs for you. But if you are in a relationship with someone for over a year, if this is the person that you've realized that this is going to be the one that you want to spend the rest of your life with, your family is going to step aside and let you dedicate that time to said person, because they know that you are concerned with yourself, and this person is the person that makes you happy. And you may in fact decide to marry that person, and then the real adventure will begin. And that person is going to be more important than your family. But a person who truly cares about you, and vice versa, if there's a death in the family, if a sibling needs a helping hand, if there's a big family reunion or a big family celebration that they really want you to be there, your significant other considers him or herself already part of the family. So of course they're going to say, let's go, because they know that you care about them too, and you're going to be willing to go and do something with their own family. And that's why the two of them truly go hand in hand. The next one on the totem pole is work. Yes, your job is one of the more important things in the world. You know, money talks and BS walks, and it's the money that allows you to live and enjoy yourself in life. But if you're not feeling well, or if there is a family emergency, or let's say that your wife is giving birth, your job is going to let you go, because that's important. There's a reason why there is paternity/maternity leave in the workforce these days, and they know that those are important priorities. But once again, it all goes hand in hand. Your family knows that a job is important, and they want you to be happy. Your significant other knows that, and yourself, you know that your job is more important than anything in the world. But the reason why it is not on the highest rank is because if something's not right, the job can be put off for a day. That's the reason why you get personal days, or sick days, or vacation time, because the workforce wants happy workers. The workforce doesn't want someone who truly hates their job. Yes, there's a lot of people who do feel that way about their jobs, but that's a whole other reason as to why. But your job is the next priority, and the same can be said about school. That's another thing that really goes hand in hand. Your teachers, they know that if you're not feeling well, they don't want you to come to class, but they do expect you to give 110% with your tasks. And the very bottom rung on the totem pole is your friends. Yeah, it's very weird to say that, but I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret. Friends are overrated. A friend is a very interesting word. What defines a friend is very unusual. There are truly great friends. Friends that are basically like brothers and sisters to you, an extended member of your family even. But there's also just friends, and there's acquaintances. If you take a look on your social media page and you realize that you have 1,000 friends, well, think about it this way. How many of those 1,000 friends do you actually talk to? Another thing that I have learned in regards to friends is that sometimes they're not truly your friends for the reasons you think they are. Sometimes a lot of people take advantage of you, especially if you happen to be a truly great person. They're going to see that you have a high tolerance level, so they're going to give you all of their bullshit. And if you say at one point in time that you feel that this is not something that you should be doing anymore, or you feel that your obligations are more important, and they say, fuck you, how dare you put yourself in front of us, they're not your friends. I've had way too many times in my life where I have had to burn bridges because of toxic friendships. I never realized at first that people who I thought were my friends really had their own personal interests in mind and not truly wanting to value my friendship. There were certain people that just always had problems, and they never fixed them. All they wanted to do was create their own drama and complain. And that's a horrible thing for a person to actually have. There's another interesting thing when it comes to friends. If you put friends ahead of everything else that I have just mentioned, people are going to look at you as if you are a bad person. Somebody that was near and dear to my heart, my former boss, once said to me that if there are 5 people at your funeral, you've lived a good life. And one of the few things that I can say is I have very few friends. I don't really have much of a social life, and quite frankly, I'm okay with that. My life revolves around my work, my YouTube channel, of course, but that's also very low on the totem pole, my health, my wonderful wife, and my family. But I also have 2 very fierce friends. One that I met when I was 2 years old, and one that I met when I was 4 years old. And there are a couple of other truly great friends that I have met throughout time, and I've even made some very good friends through YouTube, and I've even made some friends through the friends of my own wife. We actually go down to DC once a year to visit some of these friends that she met in college. They came to our wedding. We've met their children. They're all wonderful people. But we all have lives. A lot of them already have kids. I'm hoping to join them one day and have a family of my own. One of my truly best friends is someone that I haven't even seen in over a year now. And I just called him on the phone, just to say hello. And you want to know what's really great? The fact that when we got on the phone, there was no awkwardness. It was as if we just picked up right where we left off. We know that we want to see each other. We care about each other a great deal. But life is life. We have things to do. We have obligations that we have to fill. But the people who understand that, and you understand them, that is what makes a true friend. And if you think about all of these things that I've mentioned and put them into perspective, you will be able to make time for each and every one of them in the best of ways. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please leave your comments in the box below. I'm sorry for the hum. We had a very hot day today, so there's an air conditioner in the background. But I'm looking forward to the final part of A Lawn Gnome's Guide 2, 2018. And I will see you in the next one. Hey, thank you so much for stopping by my channel today. If you're new here and want to see more of what my channel has to offer, please click on the link to my last video, or hit that subscribe button to be kept up to date with all of my uploads. Content of all sorts is posted here quite often, so trust me, you do not want to fall behind. I will see you in the comments, and actions speak louder than words.